we're gonna kind of have a rocket bus up here. It's not gonna be the same as our usual bus. I don't think it'll take the place of our usual bus. We'll just kind of have a secondary rocket bus. This was our old wall. We expanded from here. But I guess, just in case, I'll connect it. Do need to bring the bus through though, so let's deconstruct. You know what, never mind, as far as keeping this wall, because we need to deconstruct all this. Alright, let's remove these. Let's put in some long distance electric here in the middle. Alright, let's blueprint these and just bring them up for a moment. Oh, we have uranium here. We may want to pull this uranium eventually, so let's try to be kind to going underground right here. So let's bring these up. Same with this, we'll just move this power pole over. We'll just go underground here. Come up. There. That's probably good enough. We can get some mining drills in there if we need to get to this uranium later. Put these in separately here. I don't need that. Okay. So now that we're up here in the clearing, well, it was a clearing, and it is kind of still a clearing. We can move some of these roboports around if we really need to. But we'll pull off what we need for the low density structures and we'll start manufacturing them. Maybe just right here to the right of the bus in this space. So again, they need copper, they need 20 copper, so they need just a constant supply of copper. Maybe, right now we'll treat that as just one whole belt. Then they need steel plates and plastic, and we can maybe put those on the same belt. He's still working that hard to get these up here? Okay. Plastic. Steel's over here, so we'll pull steel off and then we'll combine it with plastic. Let's go higher. We do need to bring it up past the uranium, so again, this space up here, so we'll bring it up to here. Be pulling steel off here. And then plastic's on the inside here, so we can combine them. If we do this right, let's say bring this in, down. We could bring one up here, cross, and under. So here we could pull plastic off right there, have it curve over. They'll combine and they'll be on alternate sides of the belt. So there's our plastic and steel, and then for copper we'll just pull off one belt. Kind of made this a little hard to go under, so we'll just do it here. So that'll be our copper. Let's just go ahead and put them next to each other. We'll try to make something that we can stack. Let's see, we want to use our assembly machine level 3. We'll come out just a little bit from the bus. We know we're gonna need long reach inserters to grab from the other conveyor belt. Honestly, now that I think about it, I kind of want copper to be closer to them. Let's bring this up some and maybe alternate the sides. Let's see, at least bring it over. We may pull from both sides depending on how this goes, so let's bring it up to about right here. Okay, now we'll do what we were doing a moment ago, and in fact, in this case, we'll use a stack inserter because it can grab a lot of copper at once. And a long reach for the other components. Let's look at how we're going to do power here. Let's just kind of put it back a little bit. That. Run this initial one, some power from up here. We'll start with 5 here. You make low density structures. And then you deposit them. Yeah, we'll say going to the left. Now for right now, let's put these into a passive provider chest. We could pull these later if we need to. That'll just get them out of the way. They'll be useful. Actually, it looks like robots are coming and picking them up already. What are they needed for? Maybe the rockets, maybe something near the rockets asking for them. That's fine. And I need something sweet. At least I've got a Sprite. Cheers. Alright, so let's expand on this until we start running out of ingredients. Right, I'm assuming that it's not going to be able to keep up with the copper supply. That's my first guess. Oh, that was one over. Deconstruct. Well, they work so slowly. And the other thing is that we can give them efficiency. Oh, but you know what we should do? We should give them productivity if it'll take. Yes. Paste that on top. Can't. We have to take them out and then put them in. Paste. Do that every time. But now that we've copied it with those modules, we can paste them in. So they will produce extra units every once in a while, and then we can look at also giving them beacons. Which we should be able to beacon them from above, maybe even below. Ah, we need to do this too. Alright. Let's see how that treats the copper line. Why are we waiting for stack inserters to be delivered? That's a little weird. Are we good? The occasional inserter just wants to be delivered instead. Okay, so we're running out of copper about right here. So beacons are not going to help. Oh, also our copper production is choked. Oh, because we're coming off here and we don't have a balancer. Let's balance these. And then we'll just, well, I'm sure we're pushing the problem further down, but let's grab a balancer 4x4. Pop that in there and upgrade it to blue belts. There we go. Oh, just a moment. Alright, so how does copper look now? We're using a ton. I'm hoping it's not. I mean, we're gonna get a good feed of copper for a while because of how long the bus is, but then we might just run out if we're not producing enough. So that's where we'll have more production come in if we have to. Alright, so with a full saturated belt, it looks like it can keep up. This is where the beacons come in, and I'm pretty sure with the beacons it will not be able to keep up. Let's put the power, well, let's put the beacons below. Let's see what happens. Beacons cannot reach it from below. Let's put the power below. Okay, take these out. Beacons above. Overkill, as always. Oh, you know what? Don't do that. Put the speed modules into the beacon first, then copy it. There we go. I'll put one of these down here and one up here. Get rid of that one. Yeah. This can go there. And we're making some. I'm assuming, since we have 7 beacons in our inventory, that these are being brought from the main base. Alright, so this is expandable further to the right if we need to. And then we could resupply more copper if it gets to the point where it's eating it up. Right now, while they're working so slowly on these. Is that 20 seconds crafting time? And these craft at 1.125 speed. So whatever that maths out to. Do have some oil up here. Just a little bit though. Who wants copper? We were like super copper rich for the longest time, but we might be in a situation. Oh, we need power on these. We might be in a situation where we need to provide more copper again for the first time in a while. Okay, so that'll be good, and then we'll just kind of match these up. There we go. There are orders out for more of these speed modules. You know, I could put these in manually, actually. Right. Shift. Control. I always forget it's control, and you can't click in the middle. I don't hate this very alien-sounding song, but like it strikes a note sometimes. It's a little off. A little odd in my ear, so let's skip. Alright, now the speed has increased quite a bit. They've gone from 1.125 to 2.3. Is the copper able to keep up? They are all still green. As long as we still get provided with enough copper. And it looks like we kind of are still. If we start seeing like the third or the fourth line choking up, then we'll know that we're not producing enough. But okay. So these are going to start backing up soon, because this is almost full. So they're just going to, like starting nowish, yeah, they're just going to start backing up. So we won't really know how much we want to expand this until we actually get them up there to the rockets. But if we look at our production, is that P? We should be able to see let's go out to per 10 minutes. It's even on here. It's gotta be. There they are. 300 every minute? That's not bad. They take forever to make, usually. About every 5 seconds. It's jumping around everywhere. Like 20-ish. That's cool. That means we're making like 4 per second. That's a really good rate for some of the slowest to craft items. So what I was mentioning before was that we would kind of do a new bus, and I think that I'm going to have that come up through here, because I also want the normal bus to go up. I would like to give it a space of 2 in between, so really I want it to be here. Once we come out around that beacon, the beacon being there should be fine. Then we have stone here. I don't know if we'll need to pull this stone, but we could operate around it if we needed to. So let's imagine here that we go ahead and go under, you know, just give room because we can afford it. Come, oh, now we need the RoboPort. Let's say from down here up to here. Nope. But hey, let's just leave all this open here in the middle. Doesn't have to be open over here, really. Bring these up. Bring this up. Bring these up. And I left enough room here that that should be fine. Then the bus can come up alongside here if we need to provide these components to something else up higher. There we go. Now, next component, rocket fuel, or no, not rocket fuel yet. Let's just do the rocket control unit. So rocket control units need the processing unit, the blue processing unit, which we have on the bus, and they need a speed module. So we're gonna have to hand make the speed modules here. Fortunately, it's only the level 1 speed module, and that's green and red circuits, which you also have on the bus. So let's get components off the bus, and let's make those over here. This seems like a good place. I might have to move this stuff, but let's clear some of this out. We may eventually need to have this cleared out, so. Nice. So we'll come up and over the stone, and we'll start production over here to the right, because we may, for whatever reason, we may want to come get this stone later. I doubt it, but let's bring bus up past it, and we'll go under the roboport. Oh, nope, that's good. Thought it was off a little bit there for a second. It'll come up to there. Whoa, all those robots. It's like a snake. So we'll do that. Could leave it open like this, but I'm inconsistent like that. Alright, and setting that precedent, having a rocket supply bus, bring these up to here. We'll be combining them with what we produce here, so those things will kind of come over and get loaded on here wherever those come out at. These are going to be on the right side, so we may actually have them swap sides as they get loaded over here. Okay. So now, again, for the rocket control unit, we need iron, we need twice as much copper, we need plastic. We could put the iron and the plastic, well, okay, sorry, we need speed modules first. I don't know why I was looking at the raw materials. We don't need the raw materials. We need just the green and red circuits in even amount for the speed modules. We could pull those in on a single track, single conveyor belt, but I am going for broke here, so we're going to pull each one in off of its own full line. So let's go from over here on the right, or left. I was somehow thinking like this is forward, so this is right and this is left. That's my excuse for using the wrong word, sure. Let's pull the green off here. We have to do this little loop-de. It's not a loop, but a little squiggle to get that out here. And we'll have red come off. Red's on the outside here. So let's have red come across just above that, come out just above it. Up should be right whilst left is down. I know that it makes sense if if you're thinking about the way I was, I guess. Okay, so that'll come up and out that way. Let's just complete the ones we need for now. While we actually have the chance, we could put a splitter on here that'll act as a balancer, and then we'll put another balancer in here. I'm not sure if green was balanced further back on the track, but there's no better time like the present to go ahead and pop one in there. Upgrade it. Let's put these back away. File them away so we know where to find them later. Cool. Trying to get a little tickle in the back of my throat. This might be it. It's a big one. Okay, cool. So green and red being brought over here. These need to make speed module 1. So again, we'll do the same assembly machines. I don't know why I made one. Come out a little bit from the bus, come up 1. You're going to be making speed modules. I don't think you can put productivity modules in there, but you can put speed modules in there to make speed modules faster. Might as well use a stack inserter. This might do a number on our red circuits. And then long arm inserter. And then power from the bottom like we did before. In fact, if we do it this close, we might be able to power both the plant and any beacons that we want to use. I don't know how many of these we need to make, so we'll start with 5, but we'll leave it expandable to the right. And we'll get this power in a second. You know what, let's put a 6th one in just because the beacon can cover, or the power can reach them all. So then we'll offload those. Onto their own track here. And then what else? Processing units. So blue processing units can just come from right here. Up one more, over. Well, we will want to split that off. It'll look like that, actually. There we go. Blue processing units across here. Let's get this power. Let's actually run the power along the bus here. Get it off of the rock. Okay. So keep that in mind, that can be expanded. Then let's bring this down further. I think we might want this to actually point in this direction. Well, we have a lot of room to work with, right? So let's actually say, I know I'm going to want to move these out of the way. What does that do to our, okay, it leaves a big hole right here. Let's bring one straight across here. And we need one up here. Just like up here out of the way. Doesn't matter if they overlap. Just want more space here. We're actually getting a little close up here when really down here would be better. You know, let me actually take... We don't use cut very often. Cut. Paste. Nice. Bring that over. They give us much more room to work with above for our other factories. So then we bring blue in. Honestly, blue can just come in this. Come on, blueprint. I mean, it's nice that they're bringing us more conveyor belts at a faster pace, but it just means that we run out again and have to switch to blueprint. Ah, stop it. Okay. Okay, so further down, I want all of the production to be able to reach. So if we put the other factories on the other side here, they're going to be reaching across and grabbing product that's going by. But something further down is going to be more likely to pull from anything being produced further up the line. So maybe what we should do instead of having the blue come all the way down here is we should have this conveyor belt come down really far, like as far as we may consider expanding it in the future. Who knows? I mean, we could just loop it around now and still expand it down later if we want to. Then we bring the chips up here. Doesn't really matter that they're going in this direction. And then the blue can come in here. And then similarly, we pull like this. Except you're not making those. You're making rocket control units. Oh, but we don't have room for beacons. So in that case, let's go, because we have room to do this. No, we're not importing a string. Cut this. Leave room for beacons, which I think are 3 high. Take that one away. Paste. There-ish. Let's come in a little bit more. Let's make sure that a beacon will fit. Yes, beacons will fit in here. So we could actually speed up both sides with 1 row of beacons. That'll be super efficient. And then we can take this, come up to here for now. Blue will come in from here. And then these will be loading onto a belt headed back off to the left. I think they have everything that they need. So let's see how that works. Get power above them. Bugs me. Oh no, it works this time. Okay, never mind. I was trying to drag the power lines before and it didn't seem to want to work. These just need a connection. Don't want to put it there. So let's just say, hey, there we go. Something like that. All right, so let's bring this in. Let's leave a little space just to kind of denote that it's a different product coming in here. Could bring it under here and load onto this side. Let's go ahead and fix this. Let's say, just for the sake of unloading for right now, we'll just have this unload to the left, and it's going to be loaded onto that particular side of the belt. So we're good there. Let's use stack inserter. Since that's going onto one side of the belt, this can side load. There we go. These will make their way up to the rockets. Now we just need rocket fuel and satellites. Just to remind myself one more time, because I forget very easily, satellites also need some of these low density structures, but they don't need the rocket control units. So maybe we don't connect these just yet. Take all those out of my inventory, please. Maybe instead we allow these to stack by doing this. Once this runs out, we may be able to remove the chest. Catch up before it saturates. Unload. Oh no. Oh well. The robots will come and take them away. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that's going to make sure both sides are loaded. For this. And I guess that makes more sense for a bus as well. So we could do the same thing for these right here. Load both sides. Is this SP or a MP game? What do you mean? What am I missing in SP and MP? Alright, so we're making these, but I don't know yet where we're gonna hit a delay. Oh, sorry, single player, multiplayer. Gotcha. Both. The main game, perfectly designed to be great single player experience, but you can also host a server. And I think they did some server testing, and they just have it open where you can have as many people join as you want. They did like a load test and got over 500 people on one server once, and they're working on updates that will allow you to actually have teams of people so that all your production doesn't just go to the players. It can go to like red team and blue team, and you can actually have some competitive stuff. I don't think that they've got anything out for that just yet, but that's been in some of their news recently that they're working on that. So that seems really cool. So you have your own bases and fight each other. That is a park cliff. Okay, so for satellites, we need the rocket fuel. So we need to get the rocket fuel up here anyway. Rocket fuel requires solid fuel and light oil. Solid fuel, light oil. What were we piping down here? Also, skip this track. We were piping in lubricant and sulfuric acid. I wonder where the nearest light oil pipe is. Let's go explore for a moment. Because we can make solid fuel. So one group could work with stone whilst another works with copper and so on. I wouldn't necessarily say that. The ingredients would be the same. You kind of need to get everything eventually in the game. Stone will help you build walls, and there's one particular type of science. The military science requires walls, so you have to make walls for that. You may also need stone for landfill that we were making a moment ago, and you can also make various types of concrete to put on the ground that actually increase your run speed when you're running on the concrete as opposed to running on the dirt. But everyone would want a little bit of everything, but it might be a cool idea. It might be a cool experience to have multiplayer, because then you might be fighting over those resources. You might have like one particular patch of uranium in the middle that, you know, you're fighting over or something because you need to fuel your nuclear power. And you can customize like the frequency of the ore and the richness of the ore when you create a map too. So I could see that turning into some really cool stuff. In fact, I would probably watch a series of like people playing. That'd be really cool. Hey, Atomic, how's it going? What were we looking for? We were looking for light oil. What were we piping most recently? Here we have more. That's petroleum gas. I don't think we ever piped the light oil beyond. No, here's some. Where's that going? Man, it's been 2 weeks since I even looked at this. So light oil is going up here. It's only half capacity too, so we might need to increase production. Oh, okay. It's actually coming off of these. Right. Coming down into the main system this way. Oh, I'm doing pretty good. As good as I can be right now, which is pretty good. So this comes down. So we could pull off of it there if we need to, and it's not too far away. Now, as far as making solid, here we have a lot of solid fuel being made, which was going into making rocket fuel, and we kind of need to do this over on the other side. Let's put a gate in here so we can just get through. We can kind of copy this and paste it up top. But we need the light oil and the solid fuel to come in. And light oil gets changed into solid fuel right here. So we can copy both of these. So what we'll do, 2 steps, we'll pipe the light oil up there, and then we'll have to increase the production of the light oil, I'm sure, once we actually copy everything else. So the tricky part's going to be getting this pipe over there. I guess we could follow the sulfuric acid. See, it goes up here. What's it doing here? This is not required. Cool. Sulfuric acid is coming up here for part of like the nuclear production, I believe. We don't necessarily need to follow that. Let's look at the map from this angle, from this distance. We need to get that light oil here. And we have a pipe that comes up to here-ish. So really what we need to do is bring it up to this iron path here and just kind of bring the pipes along the top. And either come straight across, following this water. It's probably the best bet. Or we can come up through here. Actually, I don't hate that. It's a little bit more out of the way in a good way. So we can bring it all the way up and over. That'll be perfect, actually. So we just need to follow this ore right here next to us. This ore. Let's start a pipe so that we can connect to it. So we need to connect the light oil to this. Alright, how far away did we run from it? It'll be a little tricky to get it through all this. Might be able to bring it up through here without too much hassle. Where's it at? It's way down here, isn't it?